Welcome everyone. Welcome to another session. So I think I'm just going to be doing this every time I have a trade that's gone well or that did not go well. I will do a live stream, and then if it went well, I will tell you guys why. If you did not, I'll still show you guys why. So you can also learn on the job. You can also learn like by yourself. I'm just doing this, like I said, I'm always doing this for those that don't have money to afford mentorship. So now you can just go on my YouTube and then just watch basically the things that I should have taught someone on a one-on-one session, even though I don't really go deep like that into it. All right, so what's the first thing I do when I want to analyze a market? So first of all, I want to know my buyers. I want to know my buyers. So I actually had these buyers. I had this, so I was expecting price to come into this zone and then sell. Those of you that have already watched like most of my videos on YouTube, you should already know why I took this setup from here and why my TP is here. You should know where I want to take the setup from here and then why my TP is here. So why I took this quick little sell is because I've seen that price try making its way to POI. That's this other block that did not get retested. So when price tried doing that, it did not get into it. Instead, it reversed. I started creating series of lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. That's the only reason why I took this sell. It's because I'm seeing series of lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high in this zone. So from here, I just go down to my. After I saw this, I just went down to my, because normally I'm supposed to wait. The right thing to do is to wait for price to get here, right? It's to wait for price to get here. But I have seen something that I can use to trade, which I might not advise you. My advice would be you should always wait for price to get to your POI before you can start selling. Right? Do you understand? So what did I do here? Because I've seen series of higher highs, higher low, higher lows. So that's why I decided to go and look for an opportunity to sell just for a few minutes. And when I did, and when I came down to my lower time frame, I had this setup. If you guys know the strategy that I trade, basically it's SBI, sweep, break, and engagement. So you can see this, we have our other block here. You can call this our sweep. Then we have our other block here that did not get retested. Basically, money being stuck somewhere. The price tried to come back to retest other blocks because in synthetic indices, I've noticed that price does not really leave other blocks unretested. So what happened? Price tried coming to it, but price did not tap into it. Instead of that, it gave us a liquidity that price should come and take out. And what did price do? Once it got into POI, started selling. And I have my TP just above here. Normally, I should not be holding this trade for long because because I'm still supposed to be buying. Because my buyers is telling me that I'm supposed to sell from here, from this zone. So I'm not even supposed to hold this trade for long. I'm not supposed to hold this trade for long. So I might close it now or just leave it till it hits TP. So basically, the first thing I do is I figure out what my bias is telling me first. Once I've gotten my bias, I go down to my 1 hour time frame to look for entries. Then once I find my setup, that is my sweep, break, and inducement. I have a setup. I'm not really going to go deep into it, but you all know it's just sweep, break, and inducement. But there are other things that you need to know for you to be able to actually take that trade. There's a lot of things you guys are supposed to know before you can actually take that trade. You can see this. The confirmation here was for price to take out this low, because that's my confirmation is always price takes out the lowest point he created before making its way to POI, which this is the lowest point. You can see series of higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This is the last low that was created before price got into POI. So price is supposed to break. It's supposed to break and close below it before I start selling. But that would have, but that's a lot of money being wasted already. So I went down to the lower time frame. I went down to my lower time frame to find the nearest, the closest, to find the closest last low, which I could have waited for price to take out this line. Once price took it out, I started selling. Or let's say it didn't. Let's say this time frame is still much for you. Like this money, or because this is money being wasted. Basically, you get. So let's say you did not want to use this one, you can still keep going down to a lower time frame and look out for the last low that was created before. Look out for the last low that was created before price got into PY. So basically, I think this is the last low. As you can see where I'm at, and almost every time frame is still showing the same thing. All right. So basically, that's all. That's all. That's all that I do. I would have said, you guys should ask questions. Okay, let me take one question today. Let me take one question. Who wants to ask me a question? You can just raise your hand if you want to ask a question. If you want to ask a question, you can ask right now because I'm actually done. Okay, I guess there is no question. All right, so I'm going to post this video on YouTube so you can always go back and go and learn. You can always go back to go and watch and then learn. In case this session is not enough for you to be able to understand, because some people are like that, you can. I'm going to post it on YouTube so you can go and have it. So it's just going to be there. So anytime you have your time, you can just go and watch it. All right. Thank you guys for joining me.